latest edition of Endurance Sports Car Driving Tips, brought to us by Discovery Parts. And you know, Discovery Parts is your source for all your driving gear and all the things you're going to need to get out on racetrack at your next event. So we're here talking today about radio button. And where do you put some of your buttons in the car? I know this sounds kind of funny. When you're building the car, you're just like, I just got to get it done so I can get out there and have fun with my buddies. And that's cool. But I've been in cars when you can't actually easily access the buttons. You're in the middle of a race, you're in traffic. That's no fun. So again, what we're going to talk about today is when you're starting to put the car together, where do you put certain buttons? And again, it doesn't have to be sophisticated. It doesn't have to look like it's a GT3 car out there in the IMSA WeatherTech series. But how do we put those buttons so they're accessible and easy to use? Hey, so we're going to talk about how you put the proper placement of all the buttons, including the radio button. Now again, our setup's pretty darn nice. I'm not saying everybody who's building a car is going to have it look exactly like this, but a couple key things to think about. One is, again, as you're sitting here, at least have a button for the radio on the steering wheel. And again, this car is set up a little differently. Maybe some people are beginners, but you can just take the radio button that you get from the manufacturer and you can Velcro it, tie it, do it something to the steering wheel so that you're not having to reach for the radio. So again, if you're trying to talk, boom, all you have to do is reach your finger up and touch that. And also, if you're going to have a radio cord, make sure it's not too long, because what you don't want to do is have it getting wrapped around either the knees or when you're turning. So that's a key part to it. And when you're doing all the buttons, make sure the drivers get in the car, buckle in, and see if they can still reach all of these buttons on the dash or the center console. Because again, if you are buckled in and you have to reach forward, you're not going to do that in the race. So again, you need to be able to have all the buttons so that you can reach them without having to unbuckle. You're not doing that on the racetrack. And also, everybody has a label maker. Go get yourself a label maker and label those items on the dash and on the steering wheel. You may think it's easy, but when you get out on track, it gets very confusing and you don't need that. Just like the fire button. What am I doing here? What's my headlights? What's my ignition? And if you're going to run night races, the other thing I would recommend you do is go get the glow-in-the-dark tape for the label maker. And that'll be so helpful when you have a night race, you can still see your label. So again, making sure everything's accessible while you're buckled in for all the drivers and having at least the radio button on the steering wheel. That's, again, one of the most key parts. Okay? Thank you again, Discovery Parts, for bringing this video.